Well, this was unexpected. Well, I thought for sure the last paint I used was one of these two, and apparently it wasn't. I have a couple other silvers, but it dawned on me, since I basically have to go around this entire thing, I might as well just leave the tape on there that I've got, and I'll just reshoot the whole thing in one color to make sure it's uniform. And the good news is, I did a little test peel, and the dark does not appear to be coming up. I used the low tack frog tape, the yellow stuff this time. I did have some. So we'll see how that goes later on. This kit will just not give me a break. So I got everything taped off. I used the yellow frog tape, which I detacked at least 3 times before I put it on. I had run the tests and everything to make sure it wouldn't pull up the dark gray. And I got everything laid out, got the paper on there, used that gloss aluminum to put one full coat on it. And I was like, hey, finally, we're making headway. But sure enough, let stuff harden, ease the tape off, but one part of the dark gray came off. And I realized it's not the paint. It's what's under the paint. I had put so many layers of paint and primer on this thing that one of the layers is just weak and it'll lift off. So at this point, I'm like, look, if I try to tape it again, even if I because I let this stuff harden for 2 solid days. And so I know it wasn't the paint, it's what's under it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to use one of those sponge brushes that was recently given to me. I'm going to decant some of the gray paint. I'm just going to touch it up with a brush. And except for one little overpaint that I'll fix at a later date, I'm like, okay, this is as far I'm going with it. So I got off in the corner hardening for a couple of days. Then I'll go in and just brush touch up the last of the silver, and that's going to be it. I did get some material to help fix the doors, the folding landing gear doors in it, because the little tabs have broken off. So when I bought that metal tube, I also bought some styrene rod. So I'm just going to leave it alone, let it harden for a while. I have really created all of my problems with this. Of course, a lot of it was experimenting. If I was going to do this kit again, step 1, only put 2 pieces together of the pie at a time. Make sure they're completely buffed out and smooth before and I wouldn't have used that Gorilla Glue because it left that rubbery gap in there, some seam in there. I would strictly use a regular modeler, probably Tester's red tube, and make sure everything was lined up perfectly straight, which would help seam it. Then when I had the pieces together, the 3 major sections, each made of 2 pieces, then I would put one together. In other words, go one seam at a time, make sure it's perfect before I not try to put the whole thing together at once. A lot easier to handle and manipulate. And then once I had all that buffed out and the top and bottom put together and nice and smooth, then of course 1 coat of primer and just regular model airplane paint, nothing else. And of course do the edge, and that's how I do it. And then clear coat it. That's how I do it. But I don't. If I do the C57D again, I'll do a smaller one, because this one runs into the problem of where am I going to put it. It's too bloody big to even hang in the garage. So I will probably make some kind of a diorama with this so that I can find a place to hide the switch so you can run the motor. But not until I figure out where I'm going to put it. And I tell you, half of me is inclined to go ahead and feed it to Godzilla. Several people made the joke, you should just battle damage it and put your Godzilla next to it. And don't think that thought hasn't crossed my mind. But there's nothing wrong with the kit. This was operator headspace and timing. I never really built anything with seams this big before. It's a different world. But could mount it on the wall, I guess, but it was just like a gigantic hubcap. And I probably put some magnets into the dome on top and bore them into so I can take that off and on when I want to fix the lights or something. But we'll see it. Before I go really any further, I got to figure out where the heck I'm going to put it. But this is like the 4th time doing this, and look at all the trash it generated just trying to trim it. So there you go. You know what, though? That's model building, right? Okay, guys. Well, that's what I got for this morning. You take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you later. As always, model on.